What's going on, guys? Joe with Total Justice Gaming here. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the fun YouTube things. We will be putting deck profiles, game let's plays, and fight videos for various card games such as Universes, My Hero Academia, Card Fight Vanguard, maybe some Digimon, maybe some One Piece down the road. We'll just see how it goes. But right now, we are back with Tachikaze, and we are going to be looking at another premium deck because I have gone full-blown Tachikaze fanboy in premium. I've actually been really enjoying premium now, so this channel will probably be devoted mostly to premium decks, which has been a whole lot of fun for me as of late, and I'm really happy I got pushed into it by my playgroup, and I just wanted to set on a clan, and you know, nothing seems more fun than giant dinosaurs with even bigger laser cannons. So we are back with our second deck profile. As always, our starter will be minimum Carno. We can zoom in on him, get a little bit, there we go. When he's rode upon, you can draw a card, and if your opponent went first, you can also get a quick shield out of it. So, he's always going to be our starter. We're going to go right into the grade 3s. We are running 3 copies. V Era Gaia. So, V Era Gaia, he is the boss monster because his ability not only grants us an Excel circle, which in this deck we are going to be using Excel 1 because we draw quite a bit using skills in the deck, or we just thin our deck very easily using this deck. And I find that getting the 10k versus 5k in a draw, it leads to much higher pressure. So we're going to be using that. So why we're using Gaia? Gaia's ability is during your opponent's turn, all of your rear guards with an equipped gauge gets 5k. And then if your opponent's at grade 3 or greater, they get 10k instead of 5k. Gaia wants you to go second. And if he does get to go second, everybody with a equipped gauge essentially gets a Force 1 marker. So this is really a Force and Excel deck. We are using it highly for that. The other thing we can do, why this is so good, is we can still go first and still get the 10k bonus because Tachikaze has an amazing grade 2 game, which we will get onto later in the road. Also with this ability, it's got one of these attacks, Counterblast 1, retire a unit, and this gets the original attack of the unit retired until unit paid for this cost until the end of battle, and if your opponent's Vanguard is 3 or greater, we get the original crit as well. So, with some of our units, we will make him a 23k crit 2 or a 21 crit 2. We're going to be constantly pressuring the opponent with crit 2 and high numbers, or we're just going to leave it to the field, and we're going to be focusing on making our units super big with equip gauge and making them Force 1 units with 10k already going out. In the Excel marker circle, that will be a 20k bonus if we're doing what we do right. So we're running 3 of him. We are running 1 copy of Classic Gaia. Classic Gaia gives us the Engorge skill. GB2, when you're engorged, you get 5k and a crit. And we also get the auto skill of Counterblast 1. When you stride, you can pay the cost. If you do choose up to 2 cards from your hand, call them to separate rear guards, and until the end of turn, they get, when they are put in drop zone from the rear guard, call them back. So we get more pressure late game. And Gaia, Classic Gaia is a late game card. We always want to go into normal Gaia first, or V Gaia first, then go into Classic Gaia late game because his GB2 is a little bit easier to pull off and costs less reward, while causing greater combo extension from retires and calling from equipped gauges than constantly counterblasting and eating and causing pressure. Plus, we get a stride skill, which we can continuously call out stuff set up a good board, swing, and then engorge, and then continue the combo. We can hit some pretty long attack strings of high pressure. The downside to playing him late game is we lose the 10k power that we would get from V Gaia. So it's a trade-off for Vanguard pressure versus board pressure. This is going to suit whatever you kind of need at the moment. We are just running one copy of him. And then we are running 3 copies of this dude. Great Cannon Dragon Heavy Arzene. This is not your typical build. I did get to test this. It did okay. This is not end all beat all. I don't think you'll see this build at a Springfest, but if I do see a video that someone copied this list, I will be very happy and very appreciative. But I do really enjoy this dude. He led to a lot of fun stuff. So he gets Engorge, and then he has Auto GB1, Counterblast 1. When he's engorged, when this engorged unit is retired from the Vanguard Circle from an effect or a cost of your Vanguard with an engorge ability, meaning you don't have to have engorge to trigger him, he just has to be engorged. But you can either engorge him or just use a skill that says retire him. Both work, and that's what makes this dude incredible. If you do, you can pay the cost and look at the top 4 cards of your deck and call up to 2 grade 2 or less cards from among the 2 separate rear guards. Put the rest of them in the bottom of your deck in any order. So, we swing with him, munch another Vanguard, munch another rear guard that is already attacked, then swing with either one of our grade 2s we'll talk about later, any of our strides, or even the Vanguard itself, and we can, for a simple Counterblast, get 2 more units and keep the combo string going. I find him really fun and a great combo extender. We do not want to ride him as Vanguard, though. We only want to make him a rear guard. Should the inevitable happen, he still is an 11k, he can still twin drive, but he is mostly going to be our version of a grade 3 blue sprint, but instead of gauge, we just gotta have him eat somebody. Instead of a quick gauge, he just has to be engorged, which kind of goes with the theme anyways, and he replaces himself and whatever you just ate. So he's only out of 3 because he's a utility grade 3. Moving right along, we got 4 copies of MegaRex. MegaRex is absolutely the best grade 2 in Tachikaze. Just has the Vanguard and rear guard ability of when it attacks a Vanguard, retire another unit, rear guard, and draw a card. Plus, if he's on the rear guard, you can Counterblast 1, put the top card of your deck face down as an equip gauge for this unit. It gets 5k until the end of battle for each equip gauge on this unit. So he can continuously get bigger on the Vanguard, and he can draw you a card for Counterblast while eating something. Again, constant draw engine, constant deck thinning. Just simply the best grade 2 in the set for Tachikaze. Moving on over, we are playing 4 copies of Regidon. Regidon is just basically your grade 2 blue sprint. When he attacks, you can gauge one of your rear guards, himself included. And when he's retired by a card's ability, you can call up to one of this unit's equipped gauges to the rear guard. Then you can put the top card of your deck face down as an equipped gauge. This ability may not be used with a card with the same name once per turn. So, as I said, he's the grade 2 blue sprint. He can start us off. He can swing and trigger and cause another unit to get an equipped gauge. With Gaia out, that means you're basically giving somebody a force marker. When he's munched, you can call whatever he has an equip gauge with, thus extending combos, making for more attacks. We typically want to put a booster behind him because he's just going to be a 9K. But if we want to play the grade 2 game a little bit and use him while he already has an equip gauge on to clear out a rear guard, then munch him, then call out hopefully whatever is beneficial on his equip gauge, we can keep going. Otherwise, we do want a booster behind him so he can hit numbers and focus on hitting the Vanguard and keep giving other units equip gauges or give himself an equip gauge for a later engorge effect to replace them. Now, for the premium card of this set, for grade 2, we're running 4 copies of Explosive Dragon Sarcoblaze. I don't know why this dude all of a sudden took a bump in price in TCG Player, but he did. He has Engorge, and he has, during the battle when this unit attacks, if he is engorged, your opponent can all call grade 0 man to the guard circle. So he is our Tachikaze Silent Tom. I personally set him on the Excel Circle when I can get him, and we're at grade 3. At grade 2, he can sit on the rear guard circle just fine. He can cause combos with Regidon, or with Heavy Arzene. But generally, we want to sit him on that Excel Circle. If we do have a Regidon while on grade 3, or we have any of our other ways to give him an equip gauge while V Gaia is out, he's going to be sitting at a 29 and a 29K Silent Tom, meaning they're going to have to PG, or they are going PG with a grade 1, use most of their non-grade 0 units, or this is going to force a G Guardian every single time. He is so good all of a sudden. I don't know why we didn't see him more in other Gaia decks, but I am loving him right now. He is so much fun. Moving on to grade 1s, we are going to be using, of course, 4 copies of Savage Shooter. Savage Shooter, much like MegaRex, is our go-to grade 1 in any Tachikaze deck. We will go with they because I still don't know if this is male or female. Oh, it says his bow, so it's a guy. Learn something new every day. So, his ability, 1 place, we can Soul Blast 1, draw a card, and Superior Call a from our hand to rear guard. Then we can put an equip gauge on that unit. He also has Act Rest. Put a card from your drop zone down as equip gauge to one of your rear guards without any equip gauge. So this is how we can get a grade 3 out on turn 1. Hopefully Heavy Arzene. Keep him out at 11K. Or we can drop Sarcoblaze, and we can do some really fun combos with him. Or MegaRex and get combos off of that. This just leads to a lot of Superior Call combo potential, which makes him why he's one of the greatest grade 1s for Tachikaze. We are going to be running 4 copies of Blue Sprint. Blue Sprint is basically just a grade 1 copy of Regidon, so I'm not going to go too highly into him, but if we have him on the field and we can, after writing and using Savage Shooter's ability to call it a grade 2 or grade 3, and we can Blue Sprint, we can engorge and get 4 attacks pretty much, hopefully on grade turn 1, thus pressuring their hand or just leading to 2 to 3 damage in the first turn. We are also running 3 copies of Prisim Bird. Prisim Bird's there for the grade 3 search ability. It can get pretty big on its own because you do have the ability to get equip gauges quite often in this deck. So its power-up skill can be used. But we are mostly just running it for grade 3. We are, however, mostly gonna be okay because we draw so much that off of drive checks, off of MegaRex, off of Savage Shooter, that we are going to be able to get our grade 3 no problem. This is why it's only run at 3, is because we draw so much in the deck that the grade 3 search skill is still useful, just not as needed as it would be in other decks. So finally, we are running 3 copies of Winged Dragon BeamPtero. So when we retire this from the unit, we can choose 3 of our units, and they get plus 3,000. I flip-flopped back and forth between this and Raven Wing Tarot, and I think the thing that edged it out is this gives us more pressure with higher rear guard attack, actually rear guard and vanguard values. We don't have to be a GB to activate any of this skill. We just got to be able to eat it. With Heavy Arzene, even though he is a GB1, we can eat this, power up units, and satisfy its engorged ability. And just keep going with the tax. That would mean our grade 2s are going to be hitting at 12k values. The Excel circle will be at 13, meaning that Sarcoblaze or whatever is sitting on there will get for much higher value. Our Vanguard will be hitting for a higher value. So it edged out Black Raven Winged Tarot just slightly, for the fact that it's not GB and gives a multiple unit power bonus. I'm only running him out of 3 of. We don't want to run into him too much. He is there to set down and be eaten. He's not there to boost so much. And we typically do not want to ride him, which is why I don't want to see him as often as I do Savage Shooter or Blue Sprint. Our triggers are pretty much the same as the last video from my Spino driver video. So we are running 4 copies of Bombardment Dragon Argent Woofer. He is just your pitch stride. We're running 2 copies of Archbird. We already draw enough in this deck, and we gauge, so I don't want to accelerate to the point where we deck out. But we still need at least 2 Sentinel. I do want at least 2 PG Sentinels. We are running 2 copies Paralauncher. This is our 30k crit Sentinel. This evens out, gives us more crits, and a 30k shield is nothing to sneeze at sometime. We are running the overtrigger is Oliberia. This is the same reason I said the Spino driver ability. We get to give 1 million to an additional unit. With our Silent Tom ability now on board, just imagine hitting the overtrigger and triggering its skill and then making Sarcoblaze just ginormous, and it's going to hit. It'll hit. Hopefully it'll hit for game, but we are guaranteeing that he's going to hit because we Silent Tom them, and all they got left is G Guardians and grades 1, 2, and 3. Threes, we do have to deal with deeply. So guarding with grade 3s is technically a thing. We are running, of course, 1 because it's the overtrigger. I don't even know why I went into that. Running 3 copies of Cola Magnum stand trigger, so we want to at least swing with a column first before with the Vanguard most time. That way we can hit that stand ability. It also has that weird infinite loop the lower the deck goes, which is definitely a thing. Plus its skill. Soul Charge. Put this on the bottom of your deck. When this is put from the drop zone to your rear guard from this turn, you can pay the cost. If you do, draw a card. Choose one of your units, gets 5k. It's got that weird loop, and it powers up, and it recycles itself. Honestly and truthfully, I'm still testing some things, and I'm thinking about putting in the Dragon Empire enhanced shield front that came out a couple sets ago, and I want to see how that tests out. I'm just waiting for them to come in. But this is a very, very good trigger. Stands are always very deadly, especially in premium because we're hitting for such high value. We could hit a Sarcoblaze, hit the over trigger, and then stand something else, or we can hit a swing with Sarcoblaze, get him engorged, get our Silent Tom, and then hit a stand trigger and stand him to swing again and Silent Tom twice. Not too bad. And then lastly, we are running the new Heal Guardians. I don't think I need to say too much for that. So the Heal Guardians, they need to be running every deck that you run. This just happens to be the Tachikaze variant. Alright, so let me switch frames and we will look at some combos. As soon as my camera will let me. We'll just zoom out. Zoom out. There we go. Alright, so we run that one. So we ride him. We get the draw. We use the skill. We get the draw again. Soul Blast. We'll say Sarcoblaze. And then zoom out more because I need more room. And then we will drop, if we are lucky, these are all optimal combos and optimal plays that I've seen in this deck while testing. Get our blue sprint. We'll gauge our blue sprint from top of the deck. Swing with the blue sprint. Swing with blue sprint. Swing with Vanguard. Swing with Sarcoblaze. Eat blue sprint. Call out, let's just say MegaRex for no reason. Swing with MegaRex. There's your grade 1. Grade 2. So we will call MegaRex, call Regidon, call your Sarcoblaze. And of course, again, these are all optimal plays. These are just your, like, best opportunities and most things that I've been playing with on and off with some friends at the shop and just home testing. So this goes very much like the last one. We will swing with Vanguard. We'll get our draw by eating Regidon. We will call, let's just say Arzene for the sake of it. We get the draw, swing with Arzene, swing with Sarcoblaze. Then at that point, we can choose whether or not we want to engorge the Silent Tom, or we just want to keep the Arzene on the field for later. So, we get 3 attacks there, or we can engorge and Silent Tom them should we hit, let's say, a critical trigger. And we'll put the crit on MegaRex, and then put the power over on Sarcoblaze, and then we can Munch Arzene, and then from there we can keep going with Sarcoblaze, making him a 19 that can be Silent Tommed. And then our biggest combo, and I'm gonna have to zoom out all the way on this because this is like a whole lot of cards. So we have our Excel marker here. We have Sarcoblaze on it. We have Regidon on the rear guard. We have Gaia here. Or it can be one of our strides, and we will get into the stride deck a little bit. If you are interested in what the stride deck is in this deck, just hit up the Spinal Driver deck or hit up the description below. I have not changed stride decks yet. So, but we will say we're at GB1 because we used a Heal Guardian. So we're going to say we're at GB1 because we used a Heal Guardian. So, and then we have a Savage Shooter. And let's just say, oh, there it is. And a BeamPtero. So we will rest Savage Shooter, give an equip gauge to Sarcoblaze, meaning he is now a 29. We will swing with Regidon and BeamPtero. We'll give Regidon an equip gauge. At this point, it really doesn't matter what it is on him. We just hope it's something beneficial. So we'll swing there. Next, we will swing with Sarcoblaze. Or not Sarcoblaze, excuse me. Heavy Arzene. We will Munch. We'll Munch Regidon. Regidon just happens to give us another Arzene. We're doing this at random. So his ability is fulfilled. Next, we will swing with the Vanguard. Vanguard will eat... Or no, actually, I keep forgetting how this goes. Oh, yeah, never mind. Ignore me. So we will swing with Vanguard. Swing with Arzeno again. If we get any triggers, we generally want to put them on Sarcoblaze. If they don't guard, of course, crit to Vanguard, power to Sarcoblaze. But if they do, we do want to put our crit triggers over here on Sarcoblaze. Next, we will swing with Sarcoblaze. We'll eat your BeamPtero, your Arzene, and then we will call out over the retired Arzene. Let's say, just for giggles, another Gaia and a MegaRex. BeamPtero we can activate. So our MegaRex is already at plus 3k. Sarcoblaze goes up 3k, and Gaia becomes a 14. We can swing with this Gaia. Swing with MegaRex, eat the Gaia, get the power, draw a card. And then that's about as many attacks we can do with this deck. It's got quite a bit of combo ability. I did not pull that off gracefully, my apologies. But those are some of the optimal plays you can get in this deck. We can take a quick look at the Stride deck. Again, the Stride deck is nothing new. We went over it last time. We are running... And let me zoom back in. Boop. We are running one copy of Arch Raider because at this point I think I'm just going to run him in every deck as a meme. But he does trigger a fair amount of skills because he does ask you to munch something from a rearguard circle to just gain 5,000 power. And if it hits, I can retire something for the rearguard. It's nothing spectacular. It's a suitable first turn just so you can get GB activated if you really, really have to. You can still triple drive. If you hit, you can retire something. It gets a power up, so meaning he will be 32 on the Vanguard. At this point, I really do think I'm just going to start running him as a meme. Running 4 copies of Dogma. Dogma restands if we eat everything and gets real big. Running 4 copies of Gaia Dynast, because I would really want to run the enhanced version of Gaia as a G4. So he's a GB3. When your rear guard is retired, you can counterblast 1. If you do, call a card to the rear guard, and that unit gets 3,000. That is kind of a lackluster skill, in all honesty. What I really want to run him for is this one. Is choose a face-down Gaia Emperor's Dynast from your G-Zone. Face up. When it becomes engorged, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards. Retire all rear guards in the same column as that, and countercharge 1. I really don't like the GB3 skill that much. I mean, it is like a single card combo extender. And then it gets a small power bonus to 3-1. The second skill is why I'm running this. Running 3 copies of Gang Chew Raptor. This really does work out better on the Spino Driver deck, but if you absolutely have to do it, you can do it, call down a Sarcoblaze or an Arzene. I think you really want to just run, if you run this, just drop whatever you're going to drop onto the Excel Circle so you get the 10,000. And you can swing twice, because if you do, it gives you plus 3,000, it instantly gives you a 3 equip gauges right off the bat. And then Counterblast 1, choose a card in your G-Zone face up. All your rear guards with 3 or more equip gauge can stand, and then you can retire something equal to the amount of things with your equip gauge. We're not that equip heavy in terms of, we do want we want our rear guards to have equipped gauges, but we're not really looking for the 3 is the magic number restand stuff. He is just a really light anger blader as a stride, but he is not the focus this time around. He is more of a focus in the Spino Driver build. And then we are running 4 copies of the G-Guardian Blockade Ganga. It gets to engorge, and if you do, you get 10,000 shield. And you can choose 2 of your rear guards to the end turn. When they're retired, you can, instead of going to the drop zone, you can put them back to hand. So if they wipe out your board after you Ganga, you can pop them back to hand and then just recall them next turn. Like I said, this G-Zone is nothing to go wild about. I just need to save up and get a better G-Zone. But guys, this is my Gaia Emperor Premium deck list. It is a whole ton of fun. Very high pressure, very high power deck. Lots of combos. Is it the most efficient thing ever? It does a good job. I can get some wins with this against some good decks. It's just, you got to think about, much like the Spino Driver deck, you got to think your plays through, make good play choices. Being able to silent Tom in the deck is always fun. Being able to power up in the deck is very good. Being able to use Heavy Arzene efficiently is even better. It's just fun. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you soon.